It's 8 o'clock and time for Punchline Evening News with Bert Weedle and Muffy.
Good evening. I'm Bert Weedle, this is Muffy, and this is the news. Our top story of the night. On the international front, Soviet President Mikhail Gorbachev stunned the world this morning in a speech in front of the Supreme Soviet, where he was quoted as saying, "Perestroika's over, we're cracking down again. Chew on that, you parasites and capitalist swine." Well, Gorbachev came out publicly later and apologized for any confusion he had called, saying that it had only been, quote, "a little joke." This was unfortunately too late for several hundred Soviet dissidents who had been rounded up and shot. What about that Gorbachev, Muffy? Isn't he a card?
Oh, stop
Yes.
it.
In national news, President Bush surprised no one today when he slapped a 5% surcharge on taxes on income, gasoline, and tobacco. When asked if this didn't renege on a campaign promise he had made for no new taxes, Bush was quoted as saying, "Read my lips. I said no new taxes. I never said I wouldn't raise the old ones." Well, I wonder what the man in the street has to say about that.
We're men on the street.
But what does the mime on the street think about that?
In local news, the borough of Staten Island has now officially seceded and, in fact, has declared war on the city of New York. The borough struck the first blow of the evening when the 540 Andrew Barberry ferry, loaded with plastic explosives, took out the Whitehall ferry terminal and a good chunk of lower Manhattan. Borough President Guy Molinari was quoted as saying, "Where are you going to dump your garbage now, you bastards?" Turning to the world of entertainment, in Hollywood today, producer-director Tobe Hooper, perhaps most famous for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre among his many blood and gore fests, announced his dismay at the award of an X rating by the MPAA to his latest film entitled I Rip Out Your Guts. The board had objected to several scenes depicting graphic violence, cannibalism, and necrophilia. Hooper, who described his film as wholesome family entertainment, is expected to appeal the X. In our final story tonight, in the world of sports, Yankee fans were not in the least bit surprised, of course, when George Steinbrenner today announced the firing of manager Stump Merrill. Merrill's head had been on the chopping block for some time, and the firing was expected. His replacement, however, came as somewhat of a surprise to fans when Steinbrenner announced that it was none other than Stump Merrill himself. Steinbrenner said in a news conference this morning, "I just couldn't find anyone more qualified than Stump to lead the Yankees, although come back tomorrow and we'll see what happens then." Well, that's the news. Good night.